que hablan español, tenemos un intérprete aquí, perdón, no sé si... Ya. Y bueno, muchas gracias por estar aquí y les agradezco por venir. I'm going to switch over to English now because that would be better for everybody. So thank you so much for being here. My name is Ashley Studholme. I'm the Executive Director of the Prince William Conservation Alliance. And we could not have asked for a better day today. We're currently listening to some of the annual cicadas just buzzing around, and it's just a terrific day to do some of this work. So this is a stewardship project that is in collaboration between the Prince William Conservation Alliance and Green Steeze, landscaping, and the Prince William Parks Department. And this was funded by the Chesapeake Bay Restoration Fund, which receives funding through the Chess Bay license plates. So if anyone wants additional information or wants to learn about how to get a license plate, we have information about that telephone table. And this is a kickoff event. We're planning on being here. We're hoping that this is the start of a beautiful evolving project. And for all of our volunteers, we just ask that you fill out a volunteer waiver, which is also at our welcome table. And that will also ensure that you will be notified of upcoming events as we plan them. And actually, we're going to be doing a cruising in October 20th, if everything goes well. So keep that date in mind. So we'll be removing some invasives today, but we'll be making space for other things in the future. So our kickoff event is 5 weeks, Gardeners Don't Weeds. And this is really about longer-term projects to improve our natural areas that we find here in the park. This is through the power of neighbors in neighborhoods, in Woodbridge, but really all over. And it's about coming together to care for a place that's so dearly loved. And today you'll learn about common plants that are growing in the wrong places and are prohibiting a diverse, healthy ecosystem to thrive. But you won't just be learning. This will be a hands-on experience. You'll be getting into the weeds, if you will. And through this process, we're going to make this wonderful park even better. And it's a truly wonderful park, and it's a park that really needs our help. And I think you all being here today is really testament of the desire to give back to the community, and we recognize one of our tenets is that we are stronger together, and that connecting people to nature is how we build healthy communities. And that's what today is fundamentally about. So, with that out of the way, I just want to give a quick thank you and shout outs to a couple of folks. Very quickly, I want to recognize some members of our board. Kevin Parker, who's on our board of directors, who want to raise your hands. Our chair, Jean Beard, who is helping record so we can say hello to people in the internet and on Facebook. A big thank you to Total Supermarket, who will be here shortly, and they will have some water. Did you come in? Did it go?
The light stopped here.
Oh. I just charged it. Did the battery go?
The light came back on.
How about that? Oh. Okay. You can hear me? Well, then what I'm going to do, this is the mic for the Facebook Live. I'll just project a little bit and we'll go from there. So apologies to the follow-up speakers. ran the battery out with my welcoming remarks. So anyway, back to the thank yous. Those who will be here with drinks, please help yourself to snacks. We also have Drink Wealthy, who will be selling cold press juice. I highly recommend it. I'm really looking forward to getting that some of that myself. And thank you all for being here. Also, thank you to Seth Handler-Voss and the Parks Department. Quick shout out to staff at Eugene and Chad for working with us to put all of this together. And Stephanie Johnson of Green Steeze, you were the spark for all of this. This would not have happened if you didn't really see a need and push for this. And I'm just in awe and inspired, and I'm so, so grateful to be working with you on this. And I look forward to continuing this in the future and doing a lot of other things. And then, of course, I want to recognize Supervisor Franklin, who is here, Victor Angry, Supervisor Victor Angry, who will also be here, and our Parks Commissioner of Woodbridge, Sharon Richardson. So thank you all for being here today. And so without further ado, let's get this party started, if you will, and enjoy this beautiful day together. And I'm just going to pass on the mic for some opening remarks from Supervisor Franklin. Thank you. And I'll pass it on, and I'm sorry about the mic.
Good morning to everyone. Thank you for those joining online. I am Supervisor Margaret Franklin. I represent this area on the Prince William Board of Supervisors. Again, just want to recognize my Parks and Recs appointee, Sharon Richardson. Thank you to the Prince William Conservation Alliance and to Green Steeze for coming to Veterans Park. This is one of the oldest parks here in the county, one of the most important parks we have here. We just acquired some additional land for the park, and so we will continue to be able to do more here. And I'm hoping as this is the inaugural event that this will become an annual event as well. I just want to thank you guys for taking the time to invest in this park. I think that this is a great example of what we should be partnering on. And so looking forward to getting my hands dirty. It's my understanding that after we're done here, we're all coming to my house to work on my lawn. No? Oh, okay. You guys are laughing. I don't know why, but I'm looking forward to digging in, and thank you all so much for hosting this event. So thank you.
Pass it on. Oh, okay.
Thanks. Good morning, everyone. My name is Sharon Richardson, and I am appointed by Supervisor Margaret Angela Franklin to be the Woodbridge representative on the county's Parks and Recreation Commission. I welcome everybody to beautiful Veterans Park. We're here today, as you all know, to tackle a big problem in the county's parks and other green spaces, and that's invasive plant species. Controlling invasive plants, reporting pests, and maintaining habitat areas is hard work, and it's expensive work. County budgets can only stretch so far, and that's why your help today matters. Your commitment to learning about invasive species in our parks and ways to safely eliminate them makes you heroes in my book, serious heroes. Battling invasive species in a journey toward a healthy biodiversity for our Woodbridge communities. Unfortunately, as you're going to hear later, these species can devastate local ecosystems, putting an estimated 42% of threatened or endangered species at risk of extinction. It's serious. And these adverse effects aren't confined to ecosystems. Invasive species affect almost every realm of local government. They can quickly overtake parks, wreak havoc on water infrastructure, spread fatal diseases, and negatively affect local agriculture. So it's important that local governments take action to contain or remove invasive species from their communities. I extend my thanks today to Green Steeze. Thank you so much for helping to coordinate this. I also want to thank the Department of Parks and Recreation and the Prince William Conservation Alliance. Some of you may have visited the Parks website, and I'm not a Parks employee, by the way, even though I have a hat on. The website says that the vision of our department is to be a lead collaborator in delivering solutions for holistic community transformation. Basically, it will take all of us working together to make our parks and our community what we wish them to be. And of course, many of you are familiar with the Conservation Alliance. Their mission is to establish equitable, sustainable communities, promote environmental stewardship, and create opportunities for residents to engage in decisions that affect the quality of their lives and the futures of their communities. You're here today to do just that, and I thank you, my heroes.
Have to do anything special? Okay. Hi guys, my name is Stephanie Johnson. I'm the owner of Green Steeze. And I'm also Master Gardener, Master Naturalist, Native Plant Society. So represent all of those. We're here today because this is actually my childhood park. I grew up in a neighborhood right in walking distance here, and I was just here for nostalgia, hanging out in the park, and I said, whoa, we gotta work on these invasive species. So I contacted a lot of folks. Prince William Conservation Alliance was the one that said, hey, I'll come out and help you. And Master Gardeners also here helping. Really appreciate the help. So my job today is to teach you guys about invasive species. So as we are going on our trail, it's not a huge walk, but as we go on our trail, we're going to also point out some wildlife that we see, some native plant species, and how invasive plants affect the ecosystem. So, yeah, I'm not going to do a huge speech. Anything else I need to say?
I don't know. Did you want to do a demo here?
Sure. I guess we can start it off. I can't hold this and
I can do it.
Okay.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
I didn't know this was a workout.
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
This is the show and tell portion.
Oh, let me skip to that one. Let's see. Okay. So this one is called bush honeysuckle. So this is just one piece of a trunk of bush honeysuckle. If you guys are familiar with crepe myrtles, you see those all around. This one gets as big as a crepe myrtle. So this plant is not from here. It's from Asia. Also called Amur honeysuckle bush, but we usually refer to it as bush honeysuckle. I'm going to pass around a sheet so you guys can see it. And as we see it in the park, we're going to point it out. This is one that you also find in landscaping very often, so you might be finding this on your properties. That was my trophy that I saved. It sits in my office. That was one piece. And funny story, as I was cutting this one down, the chainsaw kind of broke, and so I had to use a handsaw. And there was about 7 pieces that were looking just like that. So that was a lot of fun. Conquered. Okay. So, yeah, thanks. Okay. So we're going to go over 5 species. So that was one of them, was bush honeysuckle. And bush honeysuckle, unfortunately, pops up in both shade and sun. The birds poop the seeds around, and unfortunately the berries that the birds are eating are not healthy for them. It's kind of like, if you were to think about it, like getting like your organic vegetables versus like your McDonald's. You know what I mean? It's kind of like that. It doesn't give them what they need. So when they're migrating, it doesn't give them the kind of energy that they need to get back and forth. Okay, so popping up all over the place, very hard to manage. And as we go, we're going to talk about management and how you can do that in your home gardens. So the next species, this is English ivy. We're going to see this along the trail. I'm going to pass this around here. Okay, so English ivy, a lot of people recognize because this is used in landscaping very often. It was introduced in the 1800s, and unfortunately it's still selling in the state of Virginia, in all of our regular schmegular places to buy plants. We'll just say it like that. Yeah, so people use it as a ground cover, and I actually get paid a pretty good penny to remove it. So English ivy spreads along the ground, and then it starts to climb. And so it climbs each layer of canopy within the woodland. And once it climbs kind of to the top where it's getting a lot of sun, then it starts to go to berry, and then those berries get distributed by birds around around the area. So unfortunately, English ivy is a tree killer. It's also very damaging within the landscape. So if you have this growing up your fence or anything like that, it will cause some damage. And in the picture that's being passed around, you can see some damage along I think it's a shed that's there where it had to be removed from. So you see the paint and kind of the wood pieces that are being removed from it. This species, it's really, really important not to pull this from trees. I want to reiterate that when you see these on the trees, do not pull it off of the tree, as it will damage the tree. It's right into the tree. It is not parasitic. It just really knows how to live. And unfortunately, put themselves under a tree, and it's almost impossible to get to. So there are management ways to deal with that if that happens, and we're going to talk about that as we go.
Mugwort or tree of heaven?
Let's do this one. Okay, hot ticket item. This is one that everybody's talking about right now. So, tree of heaven, and this botanical. This one, usually sumac, which is a native, or I'll point it out in the trail. So at the top, you'll notice that it has kind of a little bump out in the leaves, and the native species do not have that, and that's a dead giveaway that that's what it is, that it's Ailanthus. Ailanthus is popping up all over the place, and unfortunately, it clones itself. So once you have it in there, you know, it just sends out other pieces of itself, and then all of a sudden, you could have a woodland full of the same tree. Really interesting. So it has a funky smell, and you can that's one of the identifying features. Some people say it smells like peanut butter. I don't, yeah, like not good ones, that like not the one you want to spread on your sandwich. Like something's wrong with this peanut butter. That's what it smells like. So it goes up to I think 50 feet or something. It gets pretty tall. There's a lot of places within, and also within Manassas City, where it is like the tree around. It's just a tree. If you walk around the neighborhoods, this area, you'll notice that it's starting to become the tree in the neighborhoods. And basically what happens is it just plants itself, and then I have a tree in my yard, and we all look at trees and we're like, oh, it's a tree, and don't really know the difference. So this tree is a foreign tree and displacing all the native trees. In addition to that, it's also hosting a brand new bug that we're not too fond of in this area, which is the spotted lanternfly. Spotted lanternfly is causing some damage, not just crops, also within the woodland, because it leaves behind really sticky stuff. And that sticky stuff causes mold, and that mold is damaging the trees. So not a whole lot we can do on that end when you have an invasive bug, other than to manage it. But it's a very beautiful bug. It's just doesn't have a predator, so it's becoming a problem. Okay, and so the last one we're going to focus on is mugwort. And I think this is a really popular one in gardens because this is popping up all over landscapes. When it's in your landscape bed, people are very annoyed by it. Cause they'll be like, I just pulled that thing like yesterday, and here he comes again. So mugwort is kind of like a ground cover. It gets about yay tall, but it spreads really, really quickly, and it has runners underground. So when you pull it out, you can just kind of pull it from the top. The whole root mass has to be removed, and the root mass is a little bit, you'll see what that root mass is like. So the reason we pointed out these was because this is stuff that is very common that you guys will see with their own landscapes, but that we can also see along the trail here. So it kind of was a win-win. This is not exhausting the amount of invasive plants that we do have in this area. There's a whole lot. There's actually more native species than invasive species. Unfortunately, the invasive species spread themselves out in such a dramatic way that we more of that than the native species. So the reason we want to manage invasive plants is because these plants tend to take over an area, and so when they take over the area, they prevent other things from growing. They also ruin the relationships that are in the forest and even within our own landscapes. There's a lot of drama going on outside that we don't know about. You know, if you ever watch the birds and you're just like, what's happening over there? There's a whole lot of drama. So there's a lot of relationships outside, and there's symbiotic relationships that are really important. So there are animals and insects that only use certain types of plants. So when invasive plants start to remove those certain types of plants from the area, and then we have less and less and less of those species. So right now we're looking at a 20% loss of species within the 16 years now. And so that's a really, really big deal. Now, something I can tell you about when I was growing up in Woodbridge, we had a whole lot of insects. There was a whole lot of bugs flying around, and there were a whole lot of bats. And I remember I used to sit on the hill in my yard and just watch the bats at nighttime, and it was the coolest thing, just darting and just watching them do their thing. We're seeing a lot less of that. Places like this are really important because bats need large bodies of water in order to drink. They cannot perch like birds do on a bird bath. So it's really, really important, not just for bats, but the many. So we're talking about wildlife, and I think we're going to get more into that, right, as we go about. Our wildlife species are very vast in this area. People don't know what a gem this area is. It's truly different. Fairfax County, no offense, doesn't have anything on us, okay, because we have wetlands here, we have the Piedmont here, we have mountains here. Woodbridge is protecting a wetland, and all these plants that are here, they're there to help absorb those pollutants. So it's really important that they're the right types of plants, because the wrong types of plants can't handle the canopy that's needed to maintain these waters and keep them protected. Okay, so are we ready to get started?
I believe so. So we have gloves.
Hold on, the life of the party just showed up. Supervisor, would you like to say anything? No. This is social media. You want to say hi to social media?
Hi, social media. Hello, everyone. It's a beautiful day. You picked a perfect day for this.
Those invasive. Yay! Okay, awesome. Thank you, Master Gardeners to the rescue. So we're gonna. And I'm going to demonstrate how we remove invasives. I remove them professionally, and so there are ways to do them professionally and ways to do them within your landscape. And then sometimes when you need to call, we'll talk about that. Okay?
We'll just wrap up really quickly and we can get on the trail. So if you brought tools and gloves, take those. We do have some gloves in the box, and then we have some tools that you can borrow as well. We just ask that you please return those so we can continue to do this work and provide that for more and more volunteers moving forward. So I would say grab a tool, grab some gloves, follow Steph, and we'll get started. Also, Parker and Valerie Heelsman are here to point out other cool things that you might see on the trail to get to know our local wildlife. So thanks again for being here all. And remember to come back and get some juice and snacks.